Hello, hello. Can everybody hear me? Get
I
thumbs
sure
up in
can.
the. Oh, hey Don, how are you?
What's going on, KG?
Telling me you couldn't hear that elevator music.
I could not hear the elevator music, unfortunately.
Oh man, that's awkward. I thought we were sitting in here and we are all jamming to that default Twitter elevator music. Sorry, everybody, to subject you to the awkward silence.
Well, it might have been me that didn't hear it, but you know, it did not come
Can we get
through.
thumbs up? Can we get thumbs up from the audience if anybody heard awkward elevator music? All right. Thumbs down. All right. Well, we're going to give everybody just a few minutes to populate in here, and then we're going to dive right into the updates. This is an AMA, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, need any help, want to learn anything about us, today is the time to ask. I would ask that everybody in this space right now, if you look in the top right of your screen, there's a little box with an up arrow. If you click that and share the space, click that little box, click share via, and put a post out about the space. Let everybody know that Internet Money's got some major announcements tonight. It's going to be bullish for crypto in general. It's going to be bullish for financial freedom sentiments. It's going to be bullish for Pulse Chain, Ethereum, Binance, and Polygon. And it's just bullishness all around. So if there's anybody you're thinking about that you think may want to hear what we've got to say tonight, click that little box with the arrow in the top right and give this space a retweet. Also, in the bottom right, you can see there's a little chat bubble. Feel free to drop comments there too if you have any questions or anything that helps the algorithm, because the more engagement these spaces get, the more people join. And if you are an Internet Money community member, you want as many people to know about what we're doing as possible. So shout out to everybody. Feel free to request the mic if anybody wants to ask any questions or chat with us. We're going to get started here in just another minute or so. Don, anything that you would like to say going into this?
I'm excited about this one in particular. We hit a few milestones that everybody's been waiting for, and a big congratulations is going to go out to the community that's been patient with us throughout the years. It's crazy we can even say years, multiple. But yeah, we're here, still building big milestones. Really excited about tonight. And yeah, man, ready to get it started.
Sounds good, sir. Well said. Yeah, that is one thing about tonight that's going to be really incredible is for those of us who have been around in the community, like you said, Don, for years. A lot of people don't know. Some people definitely know. I see some Internet Money OGs in the crowd. Shout out to you. But for those that don't know, we actually launched the first part of our project on November 30th of 2021. So we have been an active project growing in the crypto space for over 2 years now. And we have only continued to launch more contracts. We've only continued to build out our tech, the center of our technology, which is the Internet Money Wallet. And we've only continued to grow our community, grow our numbers, grow our downloads, grow our holders. And so that is really rewarding from our perspective. And I hope that everybody who has been a part of the community feels the same. And everybody who is just learning about us or is new to the community, welcome. We're honored to have you. We're honored that you're a part of that growth. And with 2 years from now, you will be able to consider yourself an OG too.
And like KG said, don't forget to share this space out. Like the retweets, tag somebody that you know who would be interested in this, even if it's one or two people. Get the algorithm going, get it popping up at the top bar. Let's have a whole bunch of people jump in here.
Yes, sir. And with that said, let's go ahead and jump right into the updates. While we wait for this to seep out into the internet, we'll start with some of the house cleaning stuff. And this is going to be your last final warning to if you are an iOS user for the internetmoney.io wallet, you need to make sure that you're not on the test flight version. Most people have made the switch. We've been off a test flight for like 6 months now. So there shouldn't be many people, but if you're one of those stragglers who is still on the test flight version of iOS, you need to save your private keys in your seed phrase or your seed phrase, and you need to delete the test flight app and reinstall the official App Store version, which you could find at internetmoney.io/iOS or by going to the Apple App Store and just searching for Internet Money Wallet. So please get off of test flight because we will be shutting down public test flight access. And it'll make a little more sense as we progress throughout the night why that is occurring. But this is your last and final warning there. And if anybody has questions about test flight and how to transition, please feel free to reach out to us. But that shouldn't apply to most people. Don, anything you'd like to say about test flight and a transition?
Just a general reminder that if you are going to delete something and reinstall it and you're copying your keys and seeds, make sure you're doing that in a safe environment. Nobody's looking over your shoulder. B, test it before you delete it. Don't assume that you're writing everything down properly. Test it. And then if you don't feel 100% confident, only 99%, retest it. You're the custodian of your own keys. You're the holder of your own wealth. Be smart about it. Don't do the biggest thing in security is you being your own worst enemy. And these little steps of ensuring little things like I wrote it down correctly. I wrote it down in the right order. Take the time, test it before you delete. And that's just with anything, not just with test flight. But yeah, that's it. Don't be your own worst enemy.
Well said, Don. That's a really good reminder. And just to really drive that home, even if you get, let's say, a brand new hardware wallet and you got that fresh new seed phrase, wipe your hardware wallet, re-import the seed phrase back into your hardware wallet before you put any assets on there. Yes, it's a pain in the butt, but what's going to be even more a pain in the butt is if 3 years from now and the battery on your hardware wallet dies and your seed phrase is invalid and you lost all your money, that's going to be the bigger pain in the butt. So make sure that every time you safely store your seed phrase, before you ever actually start transacting on them, re-import them. And because you never know, maybe you wrote one letter down wrong or one word out of order. Maybe you got a phone call in the middle of it, or there's an innumerable amount of possibilities. So make sure, like Don said, you be your own custodian and you protect yourself out there. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about our buy and burn DApp. Now, we're not going to go into the deep details of how awesome the Internet Money buy and burn is. It's very cool. And if you're a time holder or an IM holder, it's especially cool. If you're a hex holder, it's cool. Every swap that occurs within the Internet Money wallet buys and burns our token time and IM, also buys and burns hex as well. So that DApp can be found at app.internetmoney.io, or you can just go to internetmoney.io and click DApp. But the update here is not that we have that. We've had that for many months now, and happy to deep dive with anybody who wants to talk about why it's so bullish. But we have done two things. So that DApp is now open sourced, which you can actually find our repo for Internet Money either by going to our website, internetmoney.io, scrolling to the bottom and clicking GitLab, or you can go to gitlab.com/internetmoneyio, and you will see that we're starting to open source some things, which is an ethos that we're going to continue to follow in the near future. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But our DApp is now open source, which is cool because anybody can verify the code now. But also, we are a wallet. And so we want as many dApps and other projects and teams to integrate with Internet Money as possible, right? The more integration and support that we get as a wallet on all these dApps, it's another step that we can take away from JP Morgan Chase, I mean MetaMask. It's another step of actual decentralization and a wallet and a team that believes in this decentralized ethos. So by our DApp being open source, teams and projects can now go to our repo and see how we integrated Internet Money Wallet into our own DApp. And they can just follow our example and integrate Internet Money into any DApp that exists out there, and they can natively support us. So if you want to see the Internet Money Wallet adopted in all these communities, go in force and be the squeaky wheel that gets the grease, that constantly reminds these teams how important it is to have Internet Money supported and integrated into their DApp. So gitlab.com/internetmoneyio to see that. And teams have either that option, or if they integrate with Wallet Connect V2, which Wallet Connect has turned off V1 support, we are also integrated with Wallet Connect, which is very big because Wallet Connect is effectively universally supported. So just make sure that the teams that you want to see your Internet Money Wallet working with either support Wallet Connect V2 or they natively integrate Internet Money. And if they need help with either, we have basically become Wallet Connect experts. So if anybody needs help or any teams need help, please reach out to us. We're happy to assist. Don, do you have anything that you'd like to say on that? And does anybody out there have any questions about that?
No, I think you said it perfectly. And I know we were geeking out on this earlier about how clean you're getting that repo and the team is adding to it. And over time, how easy it will be for other teams to actually come in and not only verify what we're doing is safe and secure, but be able to integrate with us. And that is imperative for growth. You know, some of the normal everyday users might not be interested in, hey, your GitLab's nice and clean and organized. And there's so many ways to connect with you, and I can read everything I'm doing. Oh, look at this. I do. Actually, I am verifying what you're saying. This is incredible. But as an overarching business that's had their vision set on long-term success and integration, it's imperative. And like you said, slowly but surely continuing to add to that repo and having some minded experts in our community. We come from a very security-centric community, rightfully so. Again, you can trust, but also verify. And we're going to give you the ability to verify everything, besides for the secondary third-party audits, also for yourself to be able to go and look in the code. So really excited about that. Great job on getting that all organized, KG. It's not an easy task. Not everybody can do it, and you're doing a great job out there.
Thanks, Don. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I've been spending some time nerding out recently on setting up our repos. It's actually been quite therapeutic, believe it or not. I put some branding resources up there. Actually, if you're interested to see all of the smart contracts that we use in the Internet Money ecosystem, our tokens are on internetmoney.io. But if you're somebody that wants to check out our tokens, our buy and burn contracts, our swap routers, you can do that by going to the GitLab and looking in our smart contracts repo, where you will see all the contract addresses nice and organized, and you'll also see all the audits there as well. So you can find them on GitLab, or you can find them on the website, which, like Don was saying, not everybody is going to go to the GitLab, and not everybody cares about open source code. But we're presenting it on two fronts. We have it on the website, which is, the average person cares about being able to just see the distilled information on the website. And then the people who want to deep dive can. We want to give them that option. So we want to continue to take steps. We want you to trust us. We appreciate your trust and want to continue to earn your trust. But we also want you to be able to verify every single thing we say.
Yeah, you're coming through a little choppy at the end there. But how many contracts do we have in there now?
I believe, and if I get choppy, please throw me an emoji. I believe we have 15 contracts currently leveraged by everything we're doing. And actually, if you give me
contracts, yeah, that's a feat all in itself,
It is. Yeah, if you give me just a moment, I will verify that number. Well, I'll circle back to that in my computer being a little slow. But yeah, you can verify that number for yourself. GitLab.com/internetmoney.io. So the next thing that I want to jump into is, and if anybody has any questions at any of these junctures, please request the mic. It's an open mic, open AMA. Next thing I want to jump into is we have recently deployed our tech on Polygon or Matic chain. So for those that don't know, historically, the Internet Money Wallet in-app has supported swapping. Hey, Don, your mic is hot.
Sorry about that.
You good? Supported in-app swapping on Pulse Chain, Ethereum, and Binance Smart Chain. And we've continued to optimize the swapping there, which we're going to get into tonight. So everybody sharpen your horns because it's about to get real bullish in here, okay? And I see some mic requests coming out. I'll pull you up in just a moment. We recently launched our DEX aggregator or our swap router, either way you want to call it, on Polygon. And with that, we launched our token Time on Polygon as well. And if you were a holder of the future token, you got your first airdrop. So for those that don't know what Time is or Time does, you can find more out about that by going to internetmoney.io/time. But the quick summary is when somebody does a swap within the Internet Money Wallet, a fee is charged. And that fee is paid in the form of the blockchain's native coin. So if you're on Pulse Chain, the fee is in Pulse. If you're on Polygon, the fee is in Matic, and so on. 100% of that fee gets distributed to time holders. And this is really cool because regardless of who is swapping or what they're swapping, you're getting paid for holding time. And we're going to get into why that is extra bullish for the in-app swaps here in just a moment. But we have deployed on Polygon. So we're officially live with our DEX aggregator on 4 chains: Pulse Chain, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Polygon. And people are earning passive income in Pulse, ETH, BNB, and Matic every single day. And I would like to also welcome Gary to the stage. How are you, my friend?
All good. I'm going to listen in for a little bit and then I'll chime in more.
Yes, sir. Good to see you. So now let me talk a little bit about why our in-app swap is so bullish. Okay. You often hear that going directly to the DEX is the best place to swap. It might be in some cases, possibly, sure, but that is not inherently true. Depending on which chain you're on, there are different sources that are actually the best place to swap. So, for example, on Pulse Chain, the Internet Money Wallet on Android, iOS, and Chrome is the best place to swap on Pulse Chain, indisputably. But I'm happy to dispute it with anybody who disagrees. Here's why. We have native DEXs that have launched on Pulse Chain. We have DEXs that were carried over in the Ethereum system state copy. And we have an awesome DEX aggregator called Pateus. All great options, all different advantages and disadvantages. And then you have the Internet Money Wallet, which uses all of them. So when you swap within the Internet Money Wallet from token A to token B, you're going to get quotes from, here we go, you ready? PulseX V1, PulseX V2, 9mm V2, 9mm V3, 9-inch, Fux, and Pateus. And then you're going to get quotes from the forked Uniswap V2, Uniswap V3, Shiba Swap, Pancake Swap, and Sushi Swap. So every available native liquidity source plus forked DEXs, if there's liquidity there, you're going to get a quote. And you're going to get all the quotes at the same exact time. And the trade that's going to give you the most tokens for your trade is going to be sitting at top, nice and pretty, with the big tag recommended option. And those quotes include the fee that gets paid to time holders. So people would say, oh, I can avoid the Internet Money Wallet fees by going directly to the DEX. Sure, but let me give you an example of today's one example of why that logic would have failed you. I was doing a test of swapping $100 of Pulse to PulseX. Where would you have gone if you were to go directly to the DEX to have executed the best trade? You might say Pateus, but we love Pateus. Pateus is a great option, but Pateus is not always the best place to swap. You might have gone to PulseX V1, also a great option. Again, not always the best place to swap. So when I ran that quote and compared all the DEXs simultaneously on that particular trade, 9-inch was the best place to swap. And with all fees included, actually resulted in $100.08. So sure, you could say, oh, KG, it's only 8 cents. Don't pay attention to the 8 cents. Pay attention to I executed a swap, paid all fees, and got more money than I would have if I had gone to any other place directly. That's the value proposition. That is why the Internet Money Wallet is the best place to swap. Because even if I went directly to 9-inch, and then PulseX, and then Pateus, and then 9mm, by the time I checked all the DEXs and then circled back to the first one, the quote already would have changed. Because these markets are fluid, they're alive, they're living and breathing. It's impossible to go to 9 or 10 different liquidity sources and get all the quotes. So to summarize it, the best place to swap is on Pulse Chain. And you can do that on Android, iOS, and Chrome by downloading the Internet Money Wallet. If you don't want to import your keys, that's fine. Connect the hardware wallet to our Chrome extension. And at least give it some tests with a little bit of money, and you will see that you are getting more for your trades than anywhere else. And that same technology I just described exists on Binance, Polygon, and Ethereum. And it's beautiful. We have price tracking for all assets. So no weird jazzicons and just units on the screen. All of your assets have a price. Even on Pulse Chain, everything has a price. We get our prices from Dex Screener. So that allows you to track your portfolio. When you're doing a swap and you see all 15 DEXs or 12 DEXs compared side by side, they're all going to have the output value. It's beautiful. Give it a try.
Yeah, if you're not swapping in the Internet Money Wallet, you're not doing it right. Because you're not going to guess the right DEX every time. The liquidity in the DEXs matter. The time that you're doing it matters. And you don't have to connect to these DEXs directly. You have the front end in your hands, and all you have to do is press a button. Yes, it's going to cost you 73 cents per $100, which again, like KG said, it's already paid in the fee when you see the quote in front of you. And the cool thing is that fee doesn't go to my pocket and KG's pocket. It goes back to the holders of time. And the buy and burn smart contract holds time. It buys and burns time, internet money, and hex. So I would love to hear a reason why you wouldn't swap in the internet money wallet.
Yeah, can I answer that?
Yeah, please try.
Is this an update that you've just done recently that I need to test? Because to be honest, swaps that I've made in the past have been extremely slow and clunky, and yeah, they just haven't been very. It hasn't been a very satisfying experience at all.
So, Donald, appreciate the honest and transparent feedback. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I'm always honest. I don't have any reason to hold anything back, really. I mean, I'm just trying to be clear here. It hasn't been a very good experience. But how long has this been happening that you've connected to Pateas and the other ones? I mean, when is this a new upgrade or what?
So I don't know when the last version of the wallet you had updated. So that's kind of hard to speak, but we have been in public beta for over a year now. So, I mean, if you used us 6 months ago, yes, we're much better now than we were 6 months ago. And we have added support for all of these dexes. I think about a month and a half ago was the first time they hit the market. And we've only been optimizing and enhancing them since then.
Yeah, because I just did a swap manually on one of my. I have multiple devices, so I have obviously I have multiple wallets, but I did do a swap that was linked between MetaMask and Pateas, and it went really sweet. I did like about 4 or 5 different swaps. What was really weird and cool was that Pateas, like, they actually it actually recognized the tokens which some of them were kind of obscure, but it recognized them, gave me a price quote, and it just went through so quickly. So if you're incorporating that into Internet Money Wallet, then I'll be looking forward to trying it out and testing it out and see how it works, because it is kind of a pain in the butt to go look for the URL and actually input it. It'd be nice to just be able to like have it in a Rolodex and just pull up one of your favorite dexes and utilize it. Or if, like what you're saying, it just goes through automatically and it looks for the best price and the best the best route. That's actually cool. I'll be looking forward to testing it out.
Yeah, and actually, we know that we have users that like to utilize certain dexes, right? Like some people want to swap only on PulseX V1 because they want to enhance that PLSX buy and burn. We know that the Tang gang out there wants to really bring all their liquidity to 9mm V3. So when somebody goes and does a swap within the Internet Money wallet, it shows you all the dexes. So you can choose the dex that's going to give you the most tokens, which most people do. Or if you are, a maxi for one dex, you can choose that dex too. So we present all the options, and it's the user's choice of which dex to execute their trade on, or Pateas, which isn't a dex itself, but is also in there if you want to leverage Pateas as well.
Well, that's good news. Yeah, I'll have to give it a try and test it out. Yeah, because I think I even sent some. I sent a message to your support group, or maybe it's you. I sent the support question to, but the last time I tried to make a transaction, it was really, really surprisingly slow. And yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where when you get used to using something and it functions one way, and you start using a different tool and it just functions some different way, and it just it takes a little bit of time to get accustomed to different tools. But
I
yeah.
totally understand that. And most people using MetaMask, we like to say that we're a MetaMask alternative or replacement. Yes, our user interface is a little bit different than MetaMask. I call me biased. I think it's actually more well organized and user friendly, but it's not that you have to go and completely learn a different product, which I understand what you're saying. I use so many different software products, it's not even worth going into. So I resonate with you there and I hear you. And with that in mind, we have designed our wallet to make the transition from MetaMask easier and make sense, right? Like our V1 product, which is what we're going to talk a little bit about tonight, and we are basically there, is not trying to reinvent the wheel. Like Don likes to say, it's our vanilla ice cream. And we modeled our vanilla ice cream off of MetaMask's vanilla ice cream. And so, no, we did not fork MetaMask. It's our code built from the ground up, but it's we wanted to make it an easy transition for people to come over. So I appreciate you being willing to give us another try. For those that are in Donald's position and have downloaded the wallet at some point in the last year and said, "Oh man, that was clunky" or whatever, we have been in beta for over a year. So you caught us in the beta phase. But the big announcement tonight which we'll transition to here in just a moment, is going to talk about how that's no longer going to be the case. So I see a few people jumped up. I do want to take a few more questions. Go ahead, Gary.
It's good to be in the space. So all of us have seen in the DeFi summer the rise of DEXs as a preferred way to acquire tokens and play the speculation game. Then, not long after DEXs launched, Uniswap and beyond, then there were aggregators, and it became battle of aggregators. Not necessarily where you could place the LP, and if your liquidity was in the route, then it was pulled. If it wasn't in the route, it wasn't, right? So that seems to be happening on Pulse Chain as well. You have the pitch by Portal X, whatever their forward code is, that it's going to find the best route. You have the pitch from Pateas that it's going to find the best route. You have the pitch of 9inch where they think that they're going to be selected as the best LP for their reasonings. So that's what I'm hearing now is UX and UI will matter on the experience. People will do a sample, they'll do a trial like Donald was saying, and then they won't really revisit again until they hear new information that says, okay, I'll give it another shot, right? The UI, UX, time, whatever, perception. I think that Pateas got traction pretty quickly with their comparison tweets, their screen grabs that were saying here, like KG just explained, $100 want of desire to buy, $100 plus 8 cents worth of acquired. Right, that's going to be your best marketing, really, in the battle of how do you be most efficient and get the best price. My question is, if the route, and again, when you're seeing this focused liquidity narrative of V3 and the V3 that you're going to explain in a bit, the focused liquidity might be the best price at that moment. And then if your buy order is more than $100, more than $1,000, whatever it is, it pushes over the edge. I assume it goes to the next best DEX of liquidity. I assume it rolls over and you're just always getting the best quote. Is that basically how this is working? That it just rolls over to the next best liquidity source to fill the order?
So, couple things. I hear you about this. Oh, we're the best place to swap narrative. And the beautiful thing about our narrative is we're not even competing in that space. As funny as that sounds, because all the other people who are saying we're the best place to swap are either their own liquidity, right? Their own market, their own DEX, or they're aggregating their trades across the DEXs, right? They're taking one trade and splitting up different parts of the liquidity to multiple DEXs. What we're saying is we're taking everybody who's doing all of that and we're showing you all of their quotes simultaneously. So it's as if, and if you click up here in the Twitter nest, I dropped a picture of what it looks like. It's as if you were sitting down and you had 18 arms and 6 brains, and you are simultaneously looking at 15 computer screens and looking at all the dexes at one time. It's a snapshot of everything, including Pateus, which is the aggregator of those dexes. So we're not the competitor necessarily. We are, I hate to use this word, but we're the central point that shows you everything at once. So you're not like, we're not competing with any of these guys, because if you go on our platform and swap, you're giving them the liquidity still. We're just making sure that you're deploying your liquidity in the form of a buy or sell in the place that's going to yield you the most return for that buy or sell.
My follow-up question that is somewhat answered with your previous statement is, if I want to go from point A to point B in an airplane, sure, there's going to be different seats, different styles of parts of the airport or whatever, right? Plane, the Virgin airplane experience may be different than the Spirit one. But at the end of the day, I just want to go point A to point B and have a good experience, right? As far as just the flight analogy. So if I'm trying to acquire tokens and I just want to get the best source, you're saying that the ranking, like you just showed in the screenshot, is telling me that for my buy order request, the amount I want to buy, for all fees included, the quote at that snapshot moment that is displaying is including slippage or whatever, is likely what I'm going to get. You're saying that that's basically what I ask for is what I'm going to get.
Effectively, yes. So if you're looking at this picture here, you can see that I was trying to swap $100 of Pulse for PulseX. And you can even see the winner, so to speak, in this quote was 9inch, where I was actually getting $100.08. And that, in this quote we show you there, includes our fee that gets distributed to time holders and includes the DEX fee itself. Now, there is slippage to account for. And if you actually, when you're going through a swap yourself, you'll see that you can adjust your slippage on the prior page. So if you're someone who knows a lot about that and wants to really refine that quote to get the least amount of slippage possible, you have that customization. But if you're somebody that's just doing a quick trade, they just want the most tokens for their trade, you're just going to input token A to swap to token B. You're going to hit next, and then you're probably just going to click the recommended option because it's giving you the most tokens.
And is this only a cell phone application, Android and Apple, or is this also a desktop experience?
So it's on Android and Apple, and you can also download it as a Chrome extension, just like you would MetaMask. And we currently support Ledger and Trezor hardware wallets, and we're in the process of identifying which hardware wallets we're going to support next.
Great. I'm going to listen for a little bit longer. And thanks for all the answers.
Yes, sir. Thanks for asking. And I do want to take a couple more questions if anybody has them on this point. I do want to get to the big announcement of the night, so we can circle back and we could chat all night about any questions. But does anybody have any more questions on the DEX routing, the aggregation, any of that stuff? I see Tim's mic's open, and then Almighty, I saw your hand go up. Go ahead, Tim.
AKG, thank you very much. I saw that Gary had his hand up. Is there something you need to say, Gary?
No, it must have been earlier. I thought it was down. My hand's down, I think.
Okay, fantastic. Hey, big ups to UKG. Got some great people in here. Gary being one of them. A few other people in here. Hey, does Internet Money Wallet can work with app.icosa.pro?
No,
Okay.
and unfortunately, that is not us. That is app.icosa.pro. They are currently on Wallet Connect V1, which it is no longer
Oh, right.
working. Yeah, they turned
Right.
it off.
Yeah,
So
I got it. Okay,
yeah,
because I was trying to do that last night and I couldn't get it connected. So that's fine. And that's fine. I'm loving the experience. Majority of mine has. I'm a big MetaMask user, and over the last several months, I have migrated quite a bit over to IAM. I'm a big Staker app user, and I've migrated a lot of that over to IAM. So, KG, you're doing a great job. And I've been wanting to say this to you for a couple months. I really appreciate the effort and energy and the simplicity in your videos and the way that you teach, instruct, and insist people getting from one point to another. So that's really a fantastic job. So well done to you. With that said, I do this on purpose, what I'm going to talk about next, and I'll get out of your way because the announcement, I'm really excited about this announcement. The next thing I want to discuss with you is once a year on purpose, I actually reset every single wallet I have, and I have 5 of them. Yours is one, and then MetaMask, and then Exodus, and there's a few others. I won't list them. I'll just say this. I use these. The problem I'm having, and of course, when I say this, I know I'm opening myself up to a bunch of people just belaying me on this. I struggle completely with internet money on a restoring the wallet and have twice in a row, where with the other ones it's a very simple process. My question with staying that statement is the one thing that I liked about your restore process is you could pick how many words you want to do. You want to do, I think it's 6, 12, and 24 or something of that nature. But I really, not to belie this subject, because honestly, your protocol and internet money wallet and the things you stand for, your white papers, all of that, I'm a huge proponent for and use it daily, by the way. Especially the swap thing. The swap thing for me is absolutely fantastic, by the way. Number one thing is the swap thing. So thank you. Is there a slightly different process on restoring wallet other than the typical protocol where you put in your seed phrases, so forth and so on? Is there a step that I'm missing in that?
well, first of all, thank you for all the kind words. I'm glad that my message, our message, is being well received and appreciated. That's one analogy I like to use all the time is Don, myself, and the rest of the team, we're artists and this is our art. So when people appreciate that, it's like you're hanging us up in a gallery. So thank
Yeah,
you.
you guys are
Thank you
doing
for it.
I mean, really doing a great job. I know it's uh, trying not to virtue signal here. It's just I'm a simpleton. Hex staking, PulseX, in that protocol, Hedron. I have a few things outside of that, and I'll just name one of them, XRP. And I really don't care what people think, to be honest with you, but I really appreciate the simplicity of what's your site and the effort you're putting into it. So thank you. But anyhow, go ahead. My apologies.
No worries. So basically, to get back to your question, I'm not sure the exact issue you're having. And if you want to shoot us a DM or join the Telegram, I'm happy to deep dive with you after the space to figure that out. But our seed phrase importing process, that is one area where we want to make it a little more user friendly. But for now, the biggest issue we see with people importing seed phrases is other wallets. You can type out the entire seed phrase on one line. With our wallet, you physically have to type in a word and then press the add button. So we see a lot of people saying, "Oh, my seed phrase, I can't import it." Well, it's just because they're not pressing add. I'm not sure if that's your issue, but if it's not that, please let us know, and we'll definitely get to the bottom of it because uh, another thing with software too is there's so many different devices running so many different operating systems running off of different cellular networks and Wi-Fi networks and different places around the world. There's unlimited amount of instances, and so some people, unfortunately, and this is not just true with us, this is true with everything, every piece of software. Some people just are the recipient of a weird quirk. So that could be what you're experiencing, but we still want to know and we still want to fix it.
No, thank you very much. You know, and I'm not trying to be difficult in this, and I'm not trying to send people a different direction, because you know, one of the things that I do all the time, and I realize that I've done it more based on the algorithmics, or the statistics on my iPhone or on the computer. I can go look at how much time I spend on each wallet, and Internet Money has now become the number one place that I go and look. One, because I'm trying to learn. Two, you know, I recently invested in a time token, which is kind of cool, and comprehending what that is and what that's about. Understanding now it's on, I think, Pulse Chain, Ethereum, and Polygon, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a few others. But I won't belay this. I just know that there's a process for each one, and my goal is to have 3 or 4 wallets all the time. You connect to Trezor and Ledger, which I have both. So, you know, I guess with that, I'll leave it alone. I appreciate you. You got some great people in the chat here. The one that I can just see off the top of my head that I know for a fact, because I follow him on X, is Gary, which has a lot of great content himself. So, KG, and to the Internet Money Wallet team, I really appreciate it. You've done a fantastic job in the communication, the terminology, the expression of how you explain things. Honestly, is second to none. And I'm a big Crypto Coffee fan, and part of his Patreon as well. And I'm in the Telegram. I'm in the Telegram group for Internet Money as well. So, again, thank you, guys. This is a great chat, and I'm going to let you go so you can make your announcement. Again, KG, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Tim, thank you, my friend, truly, for saying all those kind things. I really mean that, and being a part of what we're building here, because every single person like yourself who believes in it, who shares the message, who onboards people, that is how Internet Money is going to be successful. And Don, I see your hand up, and then we're going to go to Almighty.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Thank you. And yeah, Tim, thank you for the support. Really appreciate that. You had mentioned app.icosta.pro. That's one example of someone you can reach out to and hammer his inbox. We have a lot of tools, and we have a lot of help ready to help these other dApps integrate us into their tech. And the only thing waiting on that is that specific dApp having the willingness to do it. If a lot of their users are reaching out to them, they'll be more willing to do it. And we have all the resources available. That said, I see my boy Trevin Hoffman down in the chat. He's our lead app dev. Big shout out. Give him a follow. He's one of the smartest men on the planet. And you can only increase your IQ by listening to him. Same thing with hempworth.eth. I see him down. He's one of our smart contract devs. And
Get out. They're in here?
Yep. They're in here chilling, lurking.
Hey, if you gentlemen want the mic, let us know. Sorry, Don, go ahead.
It's all good. And after Almighty, Hexkin, what's up, brother? And I see a lot of people that I'd love to shout out everybody. Appreciate you joining. We're coming up on an hour, so let's keep that in mind. We want to keep all the meat and potatoes in there. And if you have a specific question regarding your personal situation, like KG said, we can nerd out for hours. But let's keep the meat and potatoes within this hour 20 minutes, so it's easily ingestible by people that are going to listen to this later.
All right, go ahead, Almighty, and then we'll continue.
What's up, bro? So I was just gonna say I had a couple onboards that I put them on Internet Money Wallet when y'all first came out, like a long time ago. And they're still using it. And I know like a month ago they were telling me how, probably not a month, probably like 2 weeks. They were telling me it was slow or laggy or whatever. And then I told them to, move in your house, go somewhere with a better Wi-Fi spot, because a lot of times if something's slow or quote unquote clunky, it's really the Wi-Fi. It's not, like, especially if you're using mobile, bro, because I got AT&T and they suck. So every time I try to use a wallet, even MetaMask, sometimes it'll just collapse and crash, and it's just like it's not the app, right? It's the Wi-Fi. So a lot of times, if you're having trouble, bro, I would just say change Wi-Fi, turn the Wi-Fi off, do something different. So, but that's all I had to say. Just something quick. But I do appreciate y'all boys. Wallet's awesome, time token's awesome, and the dip. So, sheesh, been buying that up. But y'all boys have a great night.
Hey, thanks, Almighty. That's actually, first of all, appreciate your bullishness. Second of all, that's actually a really good point. Wallets, they leverage a lot of services to propagate all the information that you're seeing in your wallet. And if your internet connection is not great or it's shaky, and again, this is not just true with internet money, this is true with wallets in general, you might see some weirdness. You might see an app crash because the wallet is expecting to get information that it didn't get. So make sure check your internet connection. And a lot of times, sometimes the wallet, and this again, this is software in general, it just needs to crash and it needs to be booted back up. And a lot of times that solves a lot of issues. So great point there, Almighty. And with that, let's go ahead and get into what we're calling the major announcement this evening, morning, afternoon, wherever it is you are in the world. Let me tell you about what we've got going on. So, for those who have been around our ecosystem for the last, well, over 2 years, you'll know that we started building on the Internet Money Wallet about a year and 7 months ago. We entered into beta on November 21st of 2022, so last year. So we just celebrated our 1 year anniversary of being in beta. In that time, we have launched on Android, iOS, and as a Chrome extension. We have over 16,000 downloads, and we have active users, thousands of active users every day from all over the world and growing. We're getting new downloads every single day. So when people say, "Hey, what is battle testing?" This is battle testing. We have had every environment scenario you could possibly think of testing this wallet at this point. Okay, mathematically speaking, probably not every single one, but enough to say everyone, right? So the big thing that has been pending for our community, the patient internet money community, is when are we going to be out of beta? That's been the big question. Hey, all these amazing features, love it, love earning that passive income, love the best place to swap, but when are we going to be out of beta? So today we actually have the clear path forward to no longer be a beta product. We got our first round of security audits completed in January of 23, so this year. And today we just submitted for our second round of security audits. And that has been this sort of abstract deadline of when are we going to get to that second audit. So for those who haven't been following the saga, submitting to security audit represents the wallet is in a state that it's ready to no longer be in beta. It is stable, it is fast, it is reliable, it is secure, it is private, and it is ready to be considered a full, live, no questions asked product. Now, the audit process can take about a week or so. And if the auditors give us any feedback, we're going to have to, address the feedback. But once the feedback, if any, is addressed, we are ready to be out of beta. So today, actually, shout out to Trevin, who is down there, and D. Hepworth, who's also down there. Those two guys right there, they are true legends. And they are some of the brightest minds that I've ever interacted with. Trevin today launched that version that I'm talking about that we submitted to security audit to Android, iOS, and Chrome. iOS has already accepted it. So if you update your app right now, first of all, you're going to see a lot of cool features in there. We've really cleaned the app up. But second of all, that is the version that has been given to the auditors. So let's say the auditors come back and say, hey, we have no feedback. That version you're holding would be considered the security audited green checked version. If the auditors come back and say, hey, you have to do XYZ, we do it. One more version is going to be considered the fully security audited version. So at this moment in time, it is looking not only realistic, but highly, highly probable that before the end of this year, Internet Money Wallet will be out of beta. We will be we're calling it version 1, but for instance, iPhone and Android are version 127 and Chrome is version 106. So it's version 1 that's out of beta. And that is really big because, again, people have been patiently waiting, but also we've had a lot of people who've sort of been hesitant to interact with the wallet until it got to that point. So I've got a little more that I want to say about it, but I want to give Don the chance to also speak to that if he'd like to.
No, I think you're hitting the nail on the head, and just the fact that being on version 127, you want to talk about battle testing, and like there's some of the experiences that Donald was having. The only way to really know some of these experiences, and Donald, whatever region of the world you're in, you probably experience something different than the region of the world that we're in. So, and vice versa, you know, and all the way down the stream. But that being said, 127 builds being pushed, that's an average of like one every 3 days. So you want to talk about a team that's been working their tail off? We've been working, and it's not an easy feat. And it's not just us, it's you, the community, that has put in a lot of work and have had a lot of patience, because it's not easy when you're testing out with real money and you run into a problem. It's frustrating, it's scary. You went through it, and you went through it so we can come out clean. All of us can come out clean on the other side. And you paved the way. You paved the way for hopefully millions of users in the future that, like KG said, have a safe and secure product that's natively connected to Pulse Chain and can further advance the chain that we love, the chain that we support, and all the assets here. And having talent like Trevin and Mr. Hempworth on our side that we acquired from outside the ecosystem, that's another big thing. You got a lot of talented people building on the chain. So I say that to say this, which thank you all in the community that participated. And we're here. It's a beautiful, and I'm so happy. I can't even put that into words.
Well said, Don. And the next AMA that we're going to hold is going to be, hey guys, we're no longer in beta. And so I think that'll also be really cool because for those that celebrate Christmas and celebrate the New Year's holiday, you're going to have this shiny new object. If you've been around, you participated in our sacrifices, or you got in after the sacrifices early, or you've been with us for any amount of time, you're going to have a moment of vindication that this thing you believed in is real. And that's another really cool thing about the internet money ecosystem is we're not just a token. Not only do we have 15 smart contracts that we're currently leveraging, we are a living, breathing financial application on the world's 3 largest app stores. That is incredible for so many reasons. Yes, for Pulse Chain, because we bring that exposure to Android, iOS, and Chrome, but also for crypto, the general crypto population that is looking for a product that cares about decentralization. You have a tool that cares about that above all else. And we are out there fighting and being this spearhead to this murky, or to this jungle, if you will, of that just we're trying to navigate. So I'm getting a little sentimental right now, honestly, because it's so much packed in to one statement, because we as the team and us as the community have been working our butts off for so long, and to be sitting here right now saying all this is kind of surreal. So apologies for losing my train of thought there, but I was getting a little sentimental. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, how many hours? 4 hours.
Slept much, honestly. I was actually up plugging away last night with Trevin until 4 a.m. And actually Trevin didn't sleep. I don't think Trevin has slept yet. So we've been plugging away.
Right. Great job, guys. Great job.
What's up, Gary?
Just to clarify for the room, can you cover if things are on a particular chain, then acquiring and then the fees would be paid in the gas token of the chain? Is there a bridging function that you are moving from Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum to a different chain? Like, is that a selection process, or has there been any bridge issues with the IPFS? Has that been dealt with?
We currently do not have an in-app bridging feature, but that is something that is high on our priority list shortly after this non-beta release.
Cool. Thanks for clarifying.
Yes, sir. And actually, I want to take that back to my point a little bit. Bridging is actually a great transition, is that we are Pulse Chain guys. We have stemmed from the Pulse Chain community. We want the Pulse Chain community to succeed. And one amazing thing about what we do is that we're constantly making these connections and relationships with other communities. So when you see us out there talking about Polygon or Binance or Ethereum or X1 or Modulus or Gnosis or Arbitrum or Optimism or Dogechain and all these other chains, it's not because we're anti-Pulse Chain. It's because we're pro-crypto. And that's bullish for you, Pulse Chain, our fellow Pulse Chain community members, because when we're out there onboarding people into internet money because of our decentralized and crypto ethos, they have no choice but to be introduced to Pulse Chain. Because when you download the internet money wallet, you're natively connected to Pulse Chain. In-app swapping on Pulse Chain is supported. Price tracking for all Pulse Chain assets is supported. Most Pulse Chain token logos are preloaded in the wallet. So we need support in this journey as we're out there talking to other chains, building bridges, both physically within the app, like Gary said, but also socially with other communities. And if you're out there listening to this space right now, you have to understand that the Internet Money Wallet is the best possible way and the easiest way in existence to onboard somebody into Pulse Chain. And so everybody in this community wins. The more people that download and use the wallet, the more people that are making tutorials. If you're out there, if you're a Uniswap V3 single-sided liquidity provider on Ethereum, if that's your thing, make a tutorial using the Internet Money Wallet. If you like to make music, rap about the Internet Money Wallet. Use your skills, dedicate your talents to spread the word of this product, because by spreading the word of this product, it's going to pump the things you believe in.
Amen.
And actually, one additional point is we don't collect any data. So while you're doing all this, your privacy remains intact. And we all know how important that is.
Yeah, and that's a challenge all in itself, trying to troubleshoot uh, technical issues when we're not collecting any data. So we've made it harder to make it better so that you can have a product to transact freely without any risk of identifying anything about yourself and going through this crypto journey privately and securely like it was meant to be. And it makes it harder on us because it's hard to troubleshoot, obviously, but it's worth it.
There's no other way as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
And with that, I'm going to get off my pedestal. I've been passionate. We've shared the info. Does anybody have any questions about this final little phase until we're no longer in beta, about the wallet in general, about our tokens, about anything that we do? No question is a bad question. This is an open mic and open forum. What's up, security?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me up to speak and ask a question. I had a question about the injected web provider wallet, like functionality within Internet Wallet or IM Wallet, because I use Remix and I do some things. And last time I tried to do it, I wasn't able to connect with my injected web wallet through Internet Money. And I guess I'd reach out to you guys and you said you're going to work on trying to update that or change it. Is that going to be a part of the changes coming forward?
Eventually, yes, but not within this month that we're talking about. That is definitely something that we want to do, but we're not quite there yet.
Okay, cool. Can I ask one more question about possibly the current situation, what's going on with Third Web? Maybe you guys know something what's going on with that Open Zeppelin library, or if there's any updates from your side, what you guys know, what might possibly be the situation at a deeper level.
I unfortunately don't have enough educated commentary to provide there. I have been so deep in the lab getting this wallet ready to where it needs to be for this security audit that I basically had social blinders on. So I apologize, but maybe if you ask me in a few days, I'd have a better answer. But right now, I just don't for you.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Let me refer the best information as far as that I've had over the past couple of days has been Bullish 0x. Follow him, and then he's often in the Twitter Spaces or whom else is really NFT, because I'm at Art Basel right now, and a lot of the conversation really is NFT stuff, and the NFT royal as far as Third Web and things like that is something that's in conversation. So follow 0x or Bullish 0x. He's got tons of content about that information.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
All right, great recommendation.
Yeah, I mentioned something too. It's on the roadmap. We got hundreds of items on the roadmap. There's so many things out there to build that we forever. Over these next few months, years, we're gonna triage and figure out what the most important features to build are, and then go from there. Because one reason why it took so long for us to build is because of how we go through our processes. We keep security first and foremost. First of all, we know our devs, we know who they are. They're US based, and we have internal peer reviews, devs checking devs. We launch something privately, we test it, we scrub it, we work, and then we push it. So there's so many steps involved to even do one feature, because every step that we take, we have security in mind first and foremost. Because again, the seed phrase generating process is what it is. We do believe we have the most secure process that's available with technology today. Even if you had my 24 words and I gave them to you, but not in the right order, there's something crazy like 50 sextillion combinations for you to try to brute force. Go ahead. You don't have that computing power. Someone may, but it's not worth it. That said, the biggest threat to us is internally, and it is yourself. So we have to take these precautions to make sure that we don't trip over ourselves and we don't leave any back doors open. And being open source, when we get there, is going to be another level or layer of that security, so that not only do you're not faced with the decision to trust us, you can look at the code. You can hire somebody if you'd like to look at the code. It's all going to be there.
Well, I just want to say I like your routing feature. That'll be fun to try it out. It's 2 a.m. here, so I'm going to say good night. Thanks for your announcements, though. It'll be fun to try it out, though. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Donald. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and when you
And-
do, sorry, KG, just real quick, when you do,
go
please
ahead.
feel free to take some screenshots and post them and get some engagement on those screenshots, because that's also going to help. It's not only going to help you personally, it's going to help hex holders. It's going to help time holders, internet money holders, just because of the buy and burn contracts. So anytime you see something cool, like, wow, I didn't think that, post it. Try to get some engagement on it. Tag somebody that you know. Hey, look at this.
No, Don,
I just don't like doxing myself that way.
no. What's cool is if you do share screenshots of the swap page like I did at the top,
Yeah.
it actually doesn't show any personally identifying information. So
Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you too, this one cool instance I had, it wasn't much money, but I was just testing around and I was trading some tokens for 5 USDC, right? I was just testing something. Well, because I was in the right place at the right time and I was able to see all those dexes, I was actually able to get 9 USDC, right? Like it was, but that was the only one of the dexes. Every other dex was 5. So because it was $5 worth of tokens, it was like maybe it was DAI or something. It was like stable, but I was able to get almost double my tokens because I was able to simultaneously compare those quotes. And if you use the Internet Money in-app swap, you will see those things as well. I mean, you could even see in this screenshot that I shared above, I was trading $100 of Pulse to PulseX, and with all fees calculated and everything, the top quote was going to yield me $100.08. So I was actually, by paying a fee, I was yielding more tokens. So when people say, oh, why would I ever pay a fee? Well, you can see there are many instances where the fee is actually profitable. You actually get paid to pay the fee. And if you're holding time, you can consider it a cash back. And if you're holding time, when other people are out there swapping, you actually, from within the app, there's a dividends tab, and you can watch your dividends all day long, right? You don't have to stake your time or lock your time up. You could claim your dividends every block or every 100,000 years. We removed all those parameters. We actually invented this contract, this method of earning income, claiming income, and distributing income. There's no other token or protocol in crypto that does this.
All right, can I ask a question there, KG?
Please do.
Go on, everybody. Good job, everybody. I mean, I like the swap feature. I think that thing's pretty cool looking, honestly. I haven't used it, but looked pretty nice on the screenshots there. Okay, but security and privacy kind of goes hand in hand, yeah? Maybe it's hard to hear me because I'm just in the helicopter joking. So if I send into that wallet, Internet Money wallet, can someone see how much is in the previous thing? Do chain analysis, or does it somehow get rid of that? So is it a clean, I don't know, like washing your clothes or what?
No, I hear what you're asking. No, we're not like a Tornado Cash or something. So if you are sending, you're still subject to the rules of the blockchain.
Right.
Now, the thing about us, the reason why we tout privacy is because we don't collect or track any of that data. So if you were to send, a token to somebody, it's not going to say on chain, oh, you use the internet money wallet. It's also not going to tell us like, oh, this user on this device is sending this token to this person. So there's no collecting and storing of that information. So you're still subject to the rules of the chain,
I
but
got you.
we as the provider don't track any of that.
And that's like appreciated. That's a good, yeah, that's a good move too. Rather than the wallet provider holding all the things, yeah, and somehow someone finds them. So that's cool.
That's actually been my favorite thing to say recently. So myself, Don, and everybody who works on the wallet is an American citizen. And my favorite thing to say recently is if the American government ever comes knocking on our door and says, we demand all of your customers' information, we are going to 100% completely comply with our American government. And you know what we're going to give them? A big old jar of nothing. We have nothing to give them.
Good job, man. All right, yeah, I'll drop down, but I just wanted to, I think you got the gist of my question there. So, right on, guys. I mean, yeah, see how she goes when get out of beta here. But hopefully next time, you guys have a space, it'll be go time. So right on.
Thank you for jumping up and asking. And Don actually squeaked out a little Easter egg that I'm going to capitalize on a little bit. He mentioned the wallet and open sourcing. So you see that we have the repo at gitlab.com/internet money IO, where you can see our buy and burn DApp, and you can see some other cool things there. Well, we are taking and have been taking active steps towards open sourcing. And we are feeling very confident that we are pretty close to accomplishing that. So, what does that mean? Open sourcing, for those that don't know, is that the code that is being leveraged by the wallet that you download, rather, the code that makes up the wallet that you're using will be exposed. And why is that important? Because we have security audits. That's great. They're amazing. But at the end of the day, there's still a degree of, hey, I have to trust these guys. I have to trust the security audit firm, right? When you open source the software, you can verify the code for yourself. Now, most people, and no offense, it's just not an easy thing to do, aren't code readers. And that's fine. But by it being open, you know that, well, not you don't know necessarily, but there's a greater likelihood that if there was something malicious, somebody else would have caught it and pointed it out. Or if you don't want to trust everybody else who's reviewed it, you could hire your own security audit firm. You could hire your own software engineer to come in and read the code and tear it apart. So again, even though we want you to trust us, we want you to verify everything we tell you. We want you to verify that we don't collect your information. We want you to verify that we are extremely secure in the way that we generate and store private keys and seed phrases. Not we, on the centralized, you store it on your local device, and that is part of the security model. We want you to be able to go in and verify all these things for yourself. And so very soon, we're going to be a twice security audited, over a year battle tested with thousands of users, and an open source product. So there's another little Easter egg for you, but we won't dive too deep into the open source. We're going to leave that one as a surprise when we go live with that one, but I'll let you speculate on when that might happen.
Yeah, I think it's our responsibility to create a product that leaves you personally as the biggest security threat there is. And I think in this community, at least, there's tons of education, there's tons of resources, there's tons of people ready, willing, and able to help you operate as secure as possible. But we have to build a product that takes the onus off of us and puts it in your hands. And that's what we did. There's nothing more that we can do to be more secure.
Well said, Don. And I want to go ahead and open the floor up once more for questions, comments, concerns. We'd love to address them all, continue to talk about whatever anybody has. If there are no more questions, then we'll go ahead and close down the space. So just opening it up for one more round. Feel free to request the mic, jump up here. We've got 88 people listening in here. We've got 20-ish people on the YouTube watching. So if you're out there and you have questions, now's a great time to ask. If not, you can always join our Telegram group. If you go to internetmoney.io and click join our community, it'll take you right to Telegram. And as a general reminder, always make sure when you're interacting with our contracts, you use our website as the source of truth for everything, for our tokens, for our socials, for ways to contact myself and Don. Our website leads you everywhere you need to go. Even if you think, oh, hey, it's on the GitLab, make sure that if you go to the GitLab, you get the GitLab link from the website. Use that website, internetmoney.io, as your source of truth for everything, because people are getting scammed every single day in crypto, getting their entire bags stolen every single day in crypto. So please protect yourself and only go to the official sources. Any final questions?
We will never DM you.
We will never DM
KG
you.
won't DM you.
Go ahead, Don.
No, just you said it. KG will never DM you. I'll never DM you. No one in the Telegram admins will DM you. And shout out to our admins in the Telegram holding it down. I know it's a labor of love, and thank you guys so much for putting in that work. Couldn't do it without you. But yeah, they'll never DM you. So if someone's DMing you, report, block them, and just don't respond.
Yeah, someone recently, actually, there was this liquid loans scam going around. Not liquid loans, the official liquid loans, that's fine. But somebody had created like a fake dApp that looked a lot like liquid loans and were sending it to people when they were going into the liquid loans chat asking questions. And scammers do this all the time. They'll have a fake profile in a Telegram chat, and then they'll have a second profile that is mocking somebody like myself, Don, Walrus, Funding Jim, somebody that is, known out there and trusted. And then what they'll do is their fake profile will be lurking, and then they'll reach out to you from what looks to be the official profile, and they'll say, hey, I saw your problem. Here's how you fix it. Connect to this dApp. And then you connect to it and you lose all your money. None of these people that are legitimate people are ever going to just reach out to you and send you links to click. So if somebody does that, your red flag should be so high.
Yeah,
question.
just as a security thing, even with the AI, I used to always do a confirmation video, sound clip, things like that, just to verify context and regular stuff. But with AI, I wouldn't even trust that anymore. There's just no reason for anyone that has social capital, they've built it over time, especially if they've been public facing like KG, Don, myself, to DM you. Like if you have a personal relationship, you've met in person, then you have their cell phone number, you have their other context outside of Twitter, and just be super security conscious. There's no reason for anyone to say, click this link and DM it. If we're going to publish anything that has any link to it, then even sketchy to post it into Twitter post. But like, yeah, it just be super cautious about anything like that.
Well said. And if you're ever unsure, ask like 50 other people. Ask people or either ask people you can trust, And if you're not sure if it's the person you can trust that's actually reaching out to you, just slow down. You know, the big 3 rules in crypto: number 1, not your keys, not your coins. Number 2, never FOMO. All right, slow down. It's all right. Missing 2% on a trade up or down is significantly better than getting your entire bag taken from you.
Yeah, good point. One more question for you, KG.
Yes, sir.
When stats?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I was actually another thing I wanted to discuss tonight, but I was so excited to get to the big announcement. We are working on, and will hopefully soon be finished with, a stats page on the internetmoney.io website that will show you.
Hey, what's up, guys?
One moment, Alex. What's up, buddy? It'll show you the downloads for all the wallets across the 3 platforms. So you'll be able to track how many times, iOS, Android, and Chrome have been downloaded. You'll also be able to track all the swap volume that the wallet has done on each chain, and then the totals. And then you'll also be able to track the dividends on each chain and the totals. So that is already finished. Like, the stats are already being propagated. We've just finished designing it. So now our incredible web dev, he's going to go in and merge the 2. So we're hoping to also have that stats page along with the V1 release. What's up, Alcimac?
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you guys hear me good?
Loud and clear.
Nice. Well, first and foremost, congratulations. I was since day one. I appreciate all the work that you guys are doing, and I just wanted to touch on, in regards to, we're talking about scammers. I wanted to mention that person that you mentioned. Well, you didn't mention him, but the person that got scammed through a fake liquid loans. If you follow the conversation, this person was not a rookie. He was somebody that was very, very experienced. He was somebody that knows not to communicate on DM. He was somebody that knows not to click on a link. And especially if the link is like, on the link, it says nothing about the project you're trying to play with, right? It could be like, getsomebank.com, and people will fall for it, right? It could be anything, right? So I just wanted to touch on that, because the reason I believe this guy got scammed was because of FOMO. He was so excited about, liquid loans launching. And I truly believe that this is what clouded his, security skills. And he just moved forward with it, right? So I wanted to touch on that, because it doesn't matter how experienced you are. Like, you could always make a mistake, and it's just really important to not, because I hate it when people get scammed. Like, I hate it. Like, I hate it like more than a lot of things, And I've caught scammers myself before and taught them a very, very good lesson. And this is why I hate it when I see people getting scammed left and right, especially if we're there trying to help the community. So I just wanted to touch on that, though. It doesn't matter, if you're a rookie or not. Like, you could always just drop your guard, and then something can happen, So I just want to say, we got to be very careful.
That's a very good point, Alcimac. I'm glad you brought that up. It's good to hear from you. And speaking of amazing Telegram admins, here's one of them. You're always putting in the hard work, man, day or night. And we appreciate you, and we could not be where we are without you today. So thank you. And as far as, make sure to give Alcimac a follow if you're out there. This guy's awesome. Even if you're experienced, don't let your own ego think you're above getting scammed. He's speaking to a very good point. It's that FOMO. Crypto rule number 2, never FOMO, because your judgment will get clouded. Well said. Hexstack, what's up? Good to see
I
you.
just wanted to jump in there and say, from my experience with the Internet Money Wallet, it's been
nothing but positive. And I did do a lot of research beforehand, but one of the things that we kind of harbor on or focus on in our communities, Hexkins, Polskins, that type of thing, is that aspect that, you know, is like something that's making you money while you sleep. And I've been dealing with some health issues, getting past them, but I have really not taken a lot of focus on cryptocurrency whatsoever, or checking the markets. But I just went in this evening while we're in the AMA, and I'm just like, really, like, it's amazing the amount of generated, you know, fee token, you know, for PLS that has been acquired over the time, and this relatively short time frame, couple of months. But my expectation is that as this begins to take traction, as we get deep into the bull market, that there's going to be a lot more interactions, a lot more fee revenue generated for the time token holders.
I agree with that. You know, obviously, like all things, hedge accordingly, right? Like this, like any system, can go to zero. But considering we continue the growth that we've been on, we have only seen dividends increasing. And I want to ask you, Hextech, so you being a self-admitted time holder, talk about, if you don't mind, the feeling of just being able to open up your internet money wallet, decide to claim, decide not to claim. How does it feel to see those dividends increase?
Well, one of the things that I like is the fact that, you know, with the dividends increasing and stuff, there's, you know, I mean, people can claim, you know, every day if they want, they claim every week, every month, but there's no penalty for, you know, holding the dividends type thing. So if you can't get to it in 3 weeks or a month, you know, it's not like, you know, you have a hex stake ending, that type of thing, and you get penalized 1% per week till it goes down. You know, that's always there. So I'm very comfortable with that, you know, and I continue to hold my PLS and my internet money wallet. You know, especially now with things going on, stuff like that. I'm happy with it. You know, I mean, I have a few other tokens in there, but you know, it was a big step. You know, I used the test wallet first, kind of tested it out, kind of see the functions, that type of thing. And it was only $65, so it was just very, you know, like kind of throwaway wallet. But then I decided to go probably much more heavier, and I have not been disappointed. Because the value of time token is going to fluctuate the same way the value of hex, or, you know, any token within the market, that type of thing. And I've seen that, you know, especially, you know, everybody boo-hooing about, you know, the recent, like, punch in the gut we took here. But that doesn't change my dividend returns. You know, my dividend returns don't go down. It's based on the function of how people swap out tokens. So I'm very comfortable. You know, I like this versus going out and chasing shiny new objects, that type of thing, if that makes sense to anyone.
I love what you just said. You talked about price, the market fluctuating. That is so important for our system because, of course, price matters, right? If you want to enter or exit a position, price is pretty much the only thing that matters, right? But what Hextech was just speaking to was that regardless if the market is at an all-time high or an all-time low, if people are swapping within the internet money wallet, you're getting paid. So you have another layer to this that isn't just, hey, I need number to go up so I can sell. Actually, as a matter of fact, by holding, you're earning Pulse, ETH, BNB, Matic, and you're DCAing just by nature of earning income. And if you ever want to extract value, you're not selling the token time that is earning you the income. So the sell pressure, which if you even want to call it sell pressure, because it's, you know, the native coin, But the sell pressure is on a different asset that isn't the asset generating you the income. That is very, very powerful. And I want to just transition a little bit into another one of our tokenomics here. So if you head over to app.internetmoney.io, what you'll see is our buy and burn. And now it is a true statement that every swap in the Internet Money wallet buys and burns time, IM, Hex, and Pepe on Pulse Chain. And you can look at the other chains as well. But the token that I want to focus on here and now is time. Here's why it's so powerful. And if all these numbers are like, what the heck did KG just go into? It's fine. I at least just want to plant the seed. So when time launched, there was a total of 2 billion tokens. Always and forever, that is the max amount of time tokens that can ever exist. They were all minted, they're all distributed, it's out there. Now, we have a buy and burn smart contract, which holds some time itself. And then it uses 100% of the dividends that it earns to buy and burn time off the open market. Doesn't care what the price is, buys it, burns all of it that it buys. Now, why is this especially powerful for time specifically? Number one is, well, buy pressure is green candles on a chart. Everybody likes green candles on a chart, right? Number two is those tokens that were bought that put that green candle on the chart can never re-enter the market as sell pressure. They'll never come back. They were just bought and they were deleted. And number three, that's especially bullish for time, is as the supply of time decreases, your portion of the time supply increases, right? Basic concept, everybody gets that. But with time, with 100% of the wallet revenue getting paid to time holders, think about this. If you hold 1% of the time supply, well, you're earning 1% of the wallet revenue on Pulse Chain, let's say. Well, if enough time gets burned, you may now hold 2% of the time supply, or 3%, or 4%. So just by holding time and time being burned, your portion of the revenue is steadily and passively increasing as well. And so that is the trinity of buying and burning bullishness. And with that, so let's see. So right now, in the time buy and burn on Pulse Chain, there is 104 million time tokens in that buy and burn. Don, you're good at the quick math. What is that, 5%?
Yep, a little over.
So a little over 5% of all the revenue that is being generated on Pulse Chain is being dedicated towards buying and burning time off of the open market. And actually, there was a larger ad of time today. And so far, there's been about 4.4 million pulse that has been used to buy and burn time. Now, here's what's cool. If you're out there and you're somebody with time bags and you want to participate in this, you can go to app.internetmoney.io and you can deposit some time tokens. Now, it's not like staking in that it doesn't lock them up, right? If you want to put it in 1 second and take it out the next second, you can. Nobody can take your tokens from you. Only you can withdraw them. And all the functions on the buy and burn are public call functions. So if anybody else wants to build a front end of this thing, then they can. So it's even a decentralized way to host the buy and burn. And like I said, with now 5% of the wallet revenue on Pulse Chain is going to this. Oh, Don dropped out. There he goes. Oh, what's up, Hextech? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, can you explain that a little bit further about the depositing of it, but not locking it up? I'm not, familiar actually with that.
Sure. So I'm actually going to make a tutorial on this very soon. But basically, if you go to the DApp, you will see at the bottom of the page, that there is an option to deposit your time. So it will physically take the time from your wallet and put it into the buy and burn contract. But there's no like set amount of time that it has to be there. You could leave it there for a minute, you could leave it there for a week, a year, doesn't matter. You can put a portion of your bag, you could put all of your bag. It's completely customizable and flexible on when you put it in and when you take it out. And while it's in there, the tokens that it earns, or the dividends that it earns, go to the buy and burn instead of to you.
Okay, now I follow, because I was going to say, Q Bono, what's the benefit?
Right. So people might ask, oh, why would I ever put my time in there if I'm going to be losing my dividends? That's a fair question. It's just an optional feature. But what we're seeing some people with larger bags do is they're putting a portion of their bag. We've even seen some people with smaller bags put a portion of their bag, right? Like you don't have to put 100%, put 1% of your bag into the buy and burn. And what it does is it's going to, again, buy time off the open market and burn it, which the rest of your bag is going to be amplified, right? Because the rest of your bag is growing in relation to the remaining supply. So, you want to, hey, I'm going to dedicate 1% of my bag for a year, a day, a month, your choice.
And every time you buy, if you DCA into the time buy and burn contract, it's only going to help. But if everybody did that, like right now, there's 5%, over 5%, because there's only 1.97 billion left of time, because over 238,000 have been burnt. But if you just keep on DCAing a portion and keep on throwing it in there, that's kind of like a savings account, your dividends get magnified. And that 1% goes towards buying more time and burning it as long as you keep it in there. So if the wallet does $1,000 in volume a day, $50 a day is going to buy and burn time. And what does $50 a day do? Well, it may not do much on day one, but on day 100, over 100 days, it did a lot. And there's enough holders, a couple thousand holders. If we all did that on a regular basis, the floor of the asset continues to rise. And as the floor of the asset rises, there's going to be a certain point where it can't drop below that floor because the tokens just don't exist anymore. So that's so powerful. And the asset tokenomics, dare I say, are the best in crypto.
Dare I back you up on it? Because they are. And I stand to discuss that with anybody.
Yeah, it's interesting. I got to do more research. One of the things I'm going to be doing this weekend is one of the 6 people that I work with in getting them onboarded and settled into crypto, that type of thing. I'm setting him up with an Internet Money wallet this weekend, and he's kind of jumped into PLS. I can talk about his numbers. We can't talk about mine. But he got 14 million plus PLS, so he's not doing too bad. But one of my recommendations to him, especially after he's taken this pullback, that type of thing, is just hey, create some revenue flow of earning PLS if you're going to hold it long term, because he's got a 4 to 6 year time window, which is good. He's not impatient. So yeah, and you shared it with everybody, but I understood the thing about how the fact that the buy and burn function worked.
Because you're a smart man, Hextech. Don't let anyone tell you different. All right, Oh, Hextech, you got something? Oh, I see.
No, go ahead. Up too. Time to wrap up, right?
Yep.
Hey guys, just really quickly, Don reminded me right now when he was talking. So one of the things he mentioned was the amount of PLS, right? That some people are generating. Some people might not see it as a lot, but one of the things that Don had mentioned a while back was how there's a lot of people um, in like other countries where $5, is a lot for them, for the day. And I remember Don, you talked about you were giving us like numbers, we have this, the Internet Money Wallet has been downloaded, on this many countries. So I'm just wondering if you have like updated numbers on that. Just curious to see, how wide it's spread.
Yeah, as far as the wallet itself, like I got to get back in and check. I'm not around a computer now, but the website, there was that point in time we reached, I think every country on the planet that our website had views from. Now, yes, some of them could be VPN related, but yeah, we see it in our Telegram too. We're in over 100 countries. That's huge, and we are seeing a big community in Africa, Indonesia, some of these other countries that they have access to a smartphone and internet in their pocket, but no access to banking. So the Internet Money Wallet for them is kind of like their Wells Fargo, their Chase, their anything, because there's no stable way to transact in a lot of countries. I mean, we here in the first world, we're lucky. We take it for granted that we have banks. Look what's happening in the Middle East. There's so many countries in Africa, but there's literally hundreds of millions, if not billions of people that do not have that access to secure, safe banking to be able to transact on an even level. You could have $1 trillion Zimbabwean dollars and it's worth it. You can't even buy a loaf of bread with that. So again, I don't know the actual exchange rates. I'm being a little dramatic here, but the point is that it's not just the product that we're building is not just for trading. It's not just for, life-changing gains. It's for really hundreds of millions of people to have a safe way to transact just for basic goods and services in a secure way where they can have a stable, maybe it's not internet money itself that's the stable coin, even though we would love for that to be the peer-to-peer digital cash. But at least they have the means to be able to transact. And with the Internet Money Wallet, the cool thing is, if I want to send you crypto, whether it's USDC or anything, all we got to do within the app is just hold our cell phones up to each other with the QR codes, and boom, there it is. It's that easy. And that's what a lot of these people in some of these countries that don't have the access to banking are loving about the app, is the fact that they can just take their phone out of their pocket, open up the app, hit send, QR code, somebody hits receive, QR code, boom, there's the transfer in a 12-second block time for pennies on the dollar in Pulse Chain.
Might I throw a suggestion, Don, in that sentiment, a rebranding of Pulse Chain to Freedom Chain? Would that be too revolutionary?
I think we're ready for it. Freedom Chain it is.
No, but seriously, man, that is such an underrated point. We actually have a small African community in the internet money community, and everything you said is true. That's not a marketing statement. They don't have access to banks. If they can find a $5 crypto airdrop, they're jumping on it, because what we take for granted is $5 and a million different options for bank. People look at it as, man, I could feed my family this week and have financial freedom to transact. Very underrated point, Don.
Yeah, just to give you an idea. So here about almost a year ago, about 8 to 10 months ago, I have some friends who are missionaries in Ghana, West Africa. And so they were doing a building project, and it was designed to basically facilitate the work that they've been doing for over 20 years. And he's a second generation missionary. A good friend of mine. I've known him for 18 years. And just to give you an idea, you know, I made a small contribution. Well, I put it this way to him. I'm like, hey, you know, like out of the churches in the States, like who gave you the most? And he's like, named one, and it was like $5,000. And I'm like, great, I'll match it. So that got him a tenth of the way there. The building's complete now, but it's amazing the amount of, you know, effort, you know, that goes into, you know, the benefits of being successful in crypto and how it can really positively change lives.
$5,000 got him halfway through a house. Dude, like some vanities here in America are $5,000 for a bathroom. I mean, like that's crazy. Goes to show you how far the American dollar can stretch in other places. And yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways, crypto kind of represents an extension of the American dollar. But we do want to depeg from the American dollar because, you know, the US government is tyrannical and wants to suppress our freedoms and rights and all those things. So, you know, let's depeg from the dollar and let's let crypto stand on its own merit. But
Freedom
all right,
chain, baby.
everybody. Freedom Chain. Freedom Chain powered by Pulse.
Brought to you
Anybody?
by the Internet Money Wallet.
Brought to you by the Internet Money Wallet. I like it. Book it. Everybody, thanks for tuning in this evening, this morning, this afternoon, wherever it is you are in the world. Appreciate every single person. Oh, I want to also shout out. I saw Crypto Sloth out there listening. Top Gun, Corey Geary, David James, Aventus, Barista, Cat Eater Crypto, anybody else I missed. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And thank you, everybody, for supporting us on this journey. If you have not given the Internet Money Wallet a try yet, give it a try. Download it on Android, iOS, or Chrome. And even if it's not your main wallet right now, put a couple dollars in there. Try out the swap feature. You're going to love it, 100% guaranteed. That's, well, my personal guarantee. You're going to love it. Give it a try with whatever else you're doing in crypto and see where you can start substituting it for the other wallets you're using. If you ever have any questions, comments, concerns, we have a 24/7, 365 Telegram chat running. Get that link only from internetmoney.io. Click join our community. If you have the wallet currently installed and you have not left a review on the app stores, please go to the app store you downloaded the wallet from, leave a review, preferably 5 stars, and actually say something in that review. It's going to help us get ranked and pushed higher on those app store searches. And if you're seeing us tweeting, make sure to like, comment, retweet, spread the word about Internet Money. Share your screenshots that you're comfortable with about the awesome DEX quotes you're getting. And stay tuned because within the next couple of weeks, we are going to have some official non-beta release information. We're going to have some more information about going open source. So stay tuned. Please follow us here. Join our community. And until next time, peace. And until next time, peace.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Have a good night.